And they have Slam, so do not underestimate those guys.
Yeah, a lot of has Drupal this game.
Oh, that's actually pretty nice. But there's seriously like buffs missing from the French team. Like they went with the Caesar jabs, that's one buff, but there seriously needs to be a second buff at least from the Boudica Foxes. Like if they pick the Boudica Foxes, that would be a really nice build.
Yep, they have the has Drupal as well, but that's, like I said, that's only single target buffs.
Single target buffs and the buffs themselves don't really buff damage itself. I mean, it helps, but having a second buff really helps.
Alright, so like I said, Soul Wings is pretty much setting up in their base right now. Light already in the middle, ready to shoot anything that comes
They
through.
are using Cav to scout. They haven't really noticed the flanking force, really.
Their mech getting a little bit of a jab though, securing the point advantage.
Quite a big mistake by not reading the vision. Basically, if anyone is on the high ground from your side, then they can spot the French blob and just kite it. Because the French team doesn't really have any vision advantage, they only have the tower on top of the right side.
Yeah, the French are pretty much all just grouping up right now, it seems, on the opposite side. It seems like they're gonna have to make a push. And it's gonna have to be mid with how they're slow units.
I mean, at least if they wanted to push, then splitting would be the better option because the Scorpions are set up in mid.
Yep, all three of them. Just ready to nuke whatever comes through. And
The
slingers too.
Arminius Cav are being isolated, same with the Arminius Foxes. There's isolated units all over the place, and the units that aren't in the blob will get destroyed.
Yep, Azure getting wrecked.
And he's bribed as well, so if you take your calculator out, you will notice that the Cav isn't able to get them at.
Yep, just cleanly destroyed. Have advantage helping a lot.
Same thing
Arminius
with the
Fox is
Arminius
coming in.
Foxes. If they get bribed, then they won't be able to hit.
Now they did
So
already use
that's
one
very
bribe,
easy.
so at max they only have two. So they just get out of there. Seems that Azure has lost a lot of his cavalry so far. It's not good for them. Oh, another big charge.
It's not really that smart to push in against 3 Scorpions, but if they could make their money's worth out of those Ambiorix archers.
Yeah, especially with how blobbed they are too. Those Scorps are getting tons of damage.
And they have.
And these are heavy infantry
range.
too, all like heavy spears.
Pikes as well.
Just getting torn apart right now.
At least the javelins and the archers are hiding behind one of the props to snipe the Scorpions potentially, but Solvings, like they will kite out. They won't give them a chance to fire at the Scorpions.
Yep, those archers really need to get in range to start shooting at these. I think they are just shooting at the slingers a little bit.
They actually have a massive blind spot on the right side. They haven't really scouted anything.
Yeah, there's nothing over there.
So if any Cav come around, they will be just hit from the back. But Mac's doing a very nice job at actually preventing the Arminius Cav and their Foxes from doing nothing really. He's just mirroring their movements.
These pikes moved up, and they weren't able to get their pikes down with that Vici on the light already.
Yeah, you got Kong.
Javs are basically dead now.
Some shots coming into the Scorpions, but that's just way too late.
Yeah.
I've already nuked javelins. The Arminius Foxes are doing
Oh, the archers are getting a lot of good shots. Demek gets a pretty good charge in on them though. And
The
forcing
French
them to move
foxes are
back.
doing a flank move, but they're being blocked by the spears.
Yeah. Arminius Falcons can't do anything to spears.
They're basically behind a building and it's not doing much.
He is going to be able to come in through this backside, but Ravana is doing a good job blocking that off right now as well.
I'm not entirely sure what was behind the picks. Maybe the French really wanted to defend, but even at defending, any long-range missiles like Scorpions or Slingers could be abused with just this tuition alone, so it's not really a defensive build either. It's just not very optimized.
Yeah, I think they built that Leo Spear pick at the very beginning kind of signaled that they needed to be defensive, and then that light arty pick kind of just threw all that out the window. These Leo pikes cannot really do much of anything, such as a double Caesar on the field. These Falxes are getting in here though, but they're getting held up by Cav and then gonna get melted by these spears very quickly. Archers and Javs from the French are pretty much a non-factor at this point, so looking like a pretty easy game. Good game.
Like it wouldn't really. I don't really know how they could have executed this with this build. Probably using the vision, using one of the flanks that Soul Wings didn't scout on the left side. Probably could have helped, but
Yeah, pushing down mid was just not a good idea with that much light arty. They could have pushed up here at from the top, or any of the flanks would have been better.
had enough to do like a split push.
But it was all like the heavy Romans, Leonidas pikes, very slow infantry. So I think Soul Wings would have had a decent amount of time to shift their lines if they had vision of what was going on. Which they did, as they had the double cav.
They would have focused the pikes and the Germanicus heavy infantry with the javelins probably. Because if they take out the javelins, then the 2 infantry aren't really that worth to have.
Just get picked apart by the light arty.
Yeah, exactly.
And all these spears did a very good job of just holding all the choke points inside the base and just not allowing the flanking maneuver that they wanted out of those Falxes. So that's a pretty easy, good game for Soul Wings. Pretty handily defeating the French here. And like you said, I think the French just weren't built to push like they were forced to.
Like I was expecting them to set up around the wall, but was someone scouting in mid like Armenia's scout? Because they got spotted really early. And that gave them the point disadvantage, so they were forced to push out mid.
Yeah, there was some cav who went around your right side and got a lot of vision on that. All the heavy infantry was in the middle, and then vision was kept on the French team as they were behind the wall. So it was pretty easy to just see what they were forced to do. Having that cav advantage really helped.
And their Arminius Foxes only got the tower, which didn't help much because they were isolated and they didn't pull out when the Hasdrubal cav with the Arminius cav came in.
Yeah, the Arminius cav got wrecked pretty hard in those early engagements. Not that it would have been of much use in the later game, because they were just held up in their base where Cav can't really do that much.